Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends. Because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone. We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Good to see everybody in the chat. If you're here live, you'll see a chat on the right-hand side. Would love you to say hello. Already have a few people popping in from all around the world saying hi, so great to see you guys. I had a couple people who were here really early, and hope you got your coffee there, Tracy, and good to have Heather, who was just on her way out to tutoring, so hello to you. And Loretta's here. Hey, Loretta, and Andrea, and Gwen, Daniel, Elsa, great. Teaching online with Kelsey, great, love your name. Please do say hello, and I'm excited about today's live. We're gonna be talking about my 8 steps to building a teaching business. Someone who has created multiple types of businesses within online teaching, and someone who has over, I think, 5, 6, 7 income streams right now where I'm able to create revenue passively in many cases and also be able to actively help online teachers in a variety of different situations. So I'm really glad you're here. If you have any questions about the short presentation we're going to go through, please leave them in the comments. And if you are watching this on the replay, I would love to answer any questions that you have. So someone had a question about my move. That's kind of the big task this week. I am moving to Thailand due to situations here in Malaysia with my visa. So packing up shop here. It's a huge move, lots to do. I've been here for 7 years, so this is not something that is an easy thing to do for sure. I'm also taking my cat, which is something that I had to really decide on very carefully because traveling during COVID is difficult anyway, but traveling with a pet makes it 10 times more difficult. So she's coming with me. We've got everything squared away. The last permit is going to be issued tomorrow for her to transit through Singapore. So I'm going from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore with a layover. Due to having a layover, they require a permit to allow the cat to lay over as well. So it seems kind of silly, but those are the rules. So I've had to get that. And then permits for Bangkok, quarantine hotel bookings, and all kinds of things. So that's happening next Monday. So there won't be a live next Monday, but I hope to be maybe able to do one through the week, or definitely we'll be back at it the following Monday. So might need a few days off to kind of settle into things. So Masangu is here just saying hello, great. Hi, Janie, good to have you as well. A really old VIP kid referral of mine who I really enjoy seeing you pop in every once in a while. Thanks for being here. And Sarah as well, good to have you. Kelly, I don't know if I said hi to you, but I watched your Go-Go Kid and VIP Kid weekly update. If you are a Go-Go Kid or VIP Kid teacher, go watch Teacher Kelly Tag's updates every week. I just enjoy watching them rather than reading them. So yeah, it's really fun to watch her give the information and perspective on the weekly updates. But today we're not here to talk about online teaching companies per se. I'm here to talk to you and inspire you maybe in what you have been dreaming about for your business, or if you're an online teacher and you're wanting to create something, I want to take you through 8 steps. These steps are not necessarily linear steps. They sometimes all happen at different times, but it's a framework that has worked for me multiple times. And so I wanted to share that with you, as well as some content in each of those steps to kind of help you through them. So good to have Cindy here as well. Tracy says fresh coffee is done. Fantastic. All right, yeah, I've got a little bit left. It's kind of crazy that I'm drinking at 10 o'clock at night, but something about going live, and I always like to have my coffee. So maybe I'm just matching many of you with your coffee cup. Let me know what you are drinking in the chat if you are drinking something. So let's pop right into it. I do want to keep this to a nice tidy half an hour. So we will add the presentation to the stream here, and I'm going to flip over here. So the title is 8 Steps to Building Your Teaching Business and How to Do It Without Going Crazy. So I talk to a lot of online teachers who, may fit into one of these 3 categories. And maybe you're one of these people. You're someone who's tired of not making the money that you're capable of. You're working for an online company, and maybe you're dreaming bigger for yourself in an area of online teaching or private tutoring, or building a business around online teaching, or something completely different. So maybe you are number 1, someone who's just tired of not making the money that you're capable of, and you wish you could scale what you're doing. And unfortunately, when we're working for a company, it is really difficult to scale unless we're working, off peak hours, especially with those Chinese companies, A lot of teachers have found success with working with OutSchool, and that is a great example of being able to scale your teaching business and offer really unique types of classes and be able to charge a little bit more closer to what you are worth as a teacher. Maybe you're number two. You are someone who has an idea, but you just don't know how to put it out there. You've had an idea for a number of years, and you just, you suffer from imposter syndrome or limiting beliefs, and you're just not sure how to get that idea out there. This is very meta for me because I'm also talking to myself when I talk about a lot of these things, because I go through all of these things as well. Or maybe you're number three. You're just needing guidance to building your teaching business. You're someone who wants to teach under your own name, or you want to offer something to people, and you're just not sure how to do it. You've got all kinds of different, inputs from left and right, and you've got the World Wide Web, which has a lot of different ways of doing things, and you just need some support. So hopefully I can offer a little bit of that with you today. Flavia is here from Spain. Good to have you. It is a great time of day for you, just mid-afternoon, I think, right? So yeah. Kinga Lenda says, how do I catch your live on StreamYard? You are watching it right now, my friend. So carry on and enjoy. So we're going to go through 8 steps to building your teaching business. Number 1, creating a growth mindset, creating clarity and focus, creating a structured offer, setting up your platforms, growing your email list, creating valuable content, marketing yourself like a boss. Marketing is something that teachers are not trained to do, and a lot of teachers really struggle in this area. So I'm going to share my tips and my strategies for success in marketing myself, and setting up systems as well, we will finish off with. So let's pop into number 1, creating a growth mindset. So what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is just that mindset that we can have that is always on the trajectory of growing. It is not allowing those limiting beliefs and those, those thoughts that we tend to have that tend to speak really loud in our mind that tell us that we're not capable of doing something, or something is just too difficult, it's too hard, I'm not able to do it. And a growth mindset supersedes that and tells us that we can. And so it's really important that when you are thinking about creating an offer, or wanting to build a business, or wanting to create something to send out into the world, that you recognize your potential. And that as we recognize our potential and that we're capable of actually doing awesome things, I believe that each one of you is capable of doing amazing things, that then we start to rewrite those limiting beliefs. And look, I struggle with limiting beliefs every single day. Even 5 minutes before I click live, I struggle with limiting beliefs. And, that imposter syndrome of thinking, who am I to talk about these things? But the growth mindset tells you that you can do it, and that you are able to do it, capable of doing it, and you're willing to move past that. So it's just about getting yourself out there and pushing past some of those negative beliefs that we tend to have. Create routines. I think this is really important, and this helps with my mindset in particular. When I have routines that I know I'm going to achieve a certain thing on a certain day, or if I've got a project to do on a certain month, when I have those routines in place, it really helps me keep my mindset in check and to keep positive about what I'm working on. And ultimately, it helps me to achieve what I want to achieve, because I set forth, the routines that I want to do and the things that I want to accomplish. So my tip is to create actionable goals within a plan that's going to ensure you're always moving forward. So how do we do that? Let me just prop this back over here. So when we create actionable goals, I'm talking about, those goals that we call them SMART goals, where they're, attainable, they're measurable, but also create goals that are achievable in what you're going through in life and in what you are doing. It's really important to make goals that you can actually achieve. And so I like to really set quarterly goals, a kind of a financial goal that I want to achieve that quarter, or a monthly goal. Maybe it's I want to work on something, or I want to launch something, or I want to create something, or I want to just get a certain amount of videos out on my YouTube channel, or I want to write a certain amount of Instagram posts, whatever it is. I always write those things down, and I really try to stick to it. So I would encourage you, as you're starting out, to really create actionable goals that are within your larger plan of moving forward. So that's my first step. I think it's really important to start with the right mindset and the right frame of thinking to be able to continue to move you forward. Thank you, Elsa. Yes, growth mindset is so important. You know, when I was teaching in brick and mortar classrooms, we talked a lot about growth mindset with our students. I've got a phone call, so I'm going to ignore that one. You know, with my students, because, you know, when you kind of help students through that process of having a mindset that is forward thinking and that tells yourself that you can do something even when it's hard, even when it's difficult, and even when it's challenging. And all of you are capable of doing that. Okay, number 2 is create clarity and focus. So under creating clarity and focus, I wanted to kind of break down a few things here. And I did a live a couple of weeks ago all about determining your niche. You can go and check that out. I really dive deep into that. You know, it's really important that when you are wanting to create a business or launch something or build something or start to brand yourself or, you know, step out of the box and work for a company like OutSchool, or even to start, you know, working under your own name, your own brand, whatever it is, you need to know who you're serving. You need to know who you're speaking to, and you need to be crystal clear on the audience that you want to serve. Now, not only is it important to determine your niche, but it's also super important to validate that niche. So make sure that there is actually a market for whatever you're wanting to offer, that there is actually someone who is wanting to learn from you. And more than likely, if you've got an idea, you already know that there's a need for it. But when we're determining our niche, we're also trying to figure out what problem we're solving for that target group of people. So it's important to go out there and validate that. And I teach that in my coaching program, how to do that, how to validate that, and how to make sure that you are serving the right people. Not only if there's a market for it, but also that you're serving the right people because it's something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy doing, and something that you have gotten results in with people, or you have a certain skill set in something. So validating is so important. And then we need to create our value proposition, which is that awesome statement that we are sharing with others in telling people who we are, what we do, and the results that they can get. So really important to do that. Go and check out that live I did about finding your niche, because I kind of break that down a little bit more and help you to create that statement. It's important to research your competitors. You know, competitors are not competitors. I don't even really like to call them competitors. Competitors just means that there is a demand out there, and it's important, you know, for you to go and see what others are doing and make sure that not in the sense to copy them, but to get ideas and to get inspired, because nobody has the same voice as you, and nobody can offer something or do something the same way that you can. So researching your competitors is really important. And then after we've done that, we start to create our ideal customer avatar, which is that person, that group of people that we're wanting to serve. If you're a teacher that you're wanting to teach, you know, on your own, under your own name, to brand yourself in that way, then you need to know the type of student that you're teaching, the needs, the struggles, the problems that they have, and the results that you can get for them. So, you know, doing that exercise to creating an ideal customer avatar is really important, because then all the messaging that you create, all the copy that you write on your website, on your social media posts, are geared towards that one person, and you're able to really speak crystal clear to what they need and to what you can offer them. And then write your business plan. So another thing I teach is how to write your business plan, how to you know, figure out your goals, how to break those goals down, and how to make actionable steps to achieve them. It's important to have a plan going forward, because without a plan, sometimes we're kind of jumping into lots of different things, and we tend to be in all different kinds of directions. Again, this is so meta for me because I do this all the time. But, you know, having a business plan is so important from the beginning. So that's number 2. Let's jump into number 3. So what are you offering? What are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to build? What business idea do you have? So it's important to create a structured offer. And you know, it's the first thing you need to do is decide on what you're offering. Are you wanting to tutor privately? Are you wanting to go under your own name? Maybe you're an OutSchool teacher that wants to offer those same types of classes outside of that platform, and to build an audience, to build a following of people who love your content and want to pay for your classes. You know, that's something that you can do. Maybe you want to offer courses you want to do coaching. Maybe you want to coach online teachers, something that I do, or you want to coach, a completely different demographic or group of people. Whatever your offer is, maybe you want to create digital products. Whatever it is, you need to decide on what you're offering. And my suggestion is to really focus on one thing at a time. Because when you have lots of ideas, those are great, but it's very hard to be successful in one thing if you're trying to do lots of different things all at the same time. So one thing I've had to learn sometimes the hard way is to really be specific about what you're offering and to be really clear on what you're working on. So decide on one thing that you're offering and then work towards making that the best program, the best offer that it can be for your audience. And it's important to also determine the results that you want your students to achieve. So, think about what it is that those students will get by the end of your program, by the end of your coaching or your private classes or whatever it is. Even if you're, teaching on a platform, what are the results that you can guarantee your students can get? And then it's important to use a roadmap, some kind of a process to help achieve those results. So here's where we want them to be. Here's where we have this, the results that we want to get. And here's the roadmap, the process to getting there. Very similar to what I'm talking about today in taking you through this very brief roadmap. This is a way that you can get started to launching whatever it is that you have in mind, whatever dream you have in your life or whatever goal you have for business. Okay, and then design your program and content. So that's obviously the meat and potatoes of your offer is what is going into your program. What is the content that you're going to offer? And then we can start to fill in the gaps with those kinds of things. But start with deciding on one thing you want to offer. What is it that you want to do as a teacher? Are you wanting to teach online, privately, away from companies where you're able to charge what you want, to charge what you're worth? Or some of the other things that I talked about. There are all kinds of ways that you can make a business online, to make an offer online, and to make a profitable one as well. So I've been able to do that several different times in my own business. I started out as an online teacher and then created a brand on YouTube, amassing over 10,000 subscribers now with a growing email list, a website that has 8,000 to 9,000 page hits a month. And this is all starting from deciding on what I want to offer, deciding on my focus, and then building from there. And it just starts to snowball and grow as you put effort and time into it. Okay. Number 4 is to set up your platform. So after you've worked on your mindset, you've gotten crystal clear on your goals, on your niche, who you're wanting to serve, the program that you're going to offer. Now we need to start thinking about platforms. So where are you going to put all this stuff? Are you going to have a website? Are you going to just have, landing pages? Are you going to have a sales funnel? What are your social media accounts going to look like? So it's really important to start deciding on what platforms you're going to use in your business. Now, I recently made a big switch from using Kajabi and put all my stuff onto Groove. You can get a free account at onlineteacherdude.com/Groove. It gives you literally, guys, everything you need under one roof. So you don't have to worry about, putting lots of different things together to make up what you need in your business. You can do it all within Groove. It has websites, pages. You can build sales funnels. They just launched Groove Mail after taking it down for a while. And you can build your email list in Groove. And you can do all of this under the free account. They do have a lifetime upgrade, which gives you obviously more, but if you just wanted to get started, you can do that. So the platform of choice for me is Groove, but start with something simple. Start with a website, or even start with just a landing page, and then as well, you want to kind of optimize all of these for SEO, which is search engine optimization, and for your branding. That's for another chat, which leads me into growing your email list. And maybe from the beginning, all you want to do is have a landing page. All you want to do is have somewhere that people can go get some really valuable content from you, download something, get on your email list, and then you can start to organically grow your email list by sharing the freebie or the opt-in in your different social media accounts, or wherever you are online, whether you're on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok or whatever the case may be. There's 101 different places you can be online. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where to focus. For me, obviously, I spend most of my time on YouTube, but I'm also working on growing my Instagram account. And I use 2 or 3 different platforms. I would recommend not using many more than that. It can get a little bit daunting, and I think when you're trying to do too many things at once, you tend to not do any of them very well. So for me, my focus was always YouTube, and that's how I was able to grow it, because I tried to do everything I could to learn the YouTube algorithm, to learn how YouTube works. And I wanted to do my very best on YouTube. So I focused on YouTube. Now, when you prioritize your email list growth, this is when you can start to nurture them. And so nurturing just means providing valuable content. Someone found value in your freebie and they gave you your email address. So now it's time to start emailing them. What do you email them? What do you share with them? So these are all things to be thinking about. But your email list is one of the most important things in your business, because it is something that you own. You've probably heard this before. We don't own social media accounts. We don't own YouTube. I tell the story many times about how my Facebook account and my Facebook page of 14 years got removed last year, for something that I didn't even realize I had done wrong. But Facebook saw that it was wrong and removed me. So, and I had no course of action to justify it or to get it back. So you do have to be careful. And, that's why I really put a lot of emphasis into growing your email list. I have found strategies that work really well for growing your email list. And now I'm able to grow my email list at the same time as making a little bit of income, because I have a sort of a funnel on my freebie. And so you can do the same, but it only has to be simple. It doesn't have to be a grandiose thing. I started with a very simple downloadable PDF, and then that evolved into kind of an ebook, small ebook type of thing. And then I changed that into a free 4-module course, which is, basically all my experience with online teaching, all wrapped up into a little course. And so now it's like a high value download, and my email list is growing nice and fast because of it. So if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments. I realize I'm kind of doing a really fast flyby through this, but I wanted to share this and hopefully inspire someone who's watching or someone who's interested in growing their business. Okay, number 6. So again, I say this is not necessarily linear. This doesn't have to be, one thing after another. This is the roadmap that I have taken multiple times, but sometimes these things happen at different points in the process, and you're always sort of working on different things at the same time. But number 6 is to create valuable content. And, it's important to learn what content you should be creating. So if you are, let's say, an online teacher, what kind of content would be valuable to the people that you're wanting to serve? If you're trying to attract students and you're teaching in a very specific area, then you need to be thinking about what content is going to attract those students to want to engage with you and eventually buy from you or take classes with you. And it's important to create a content schedule. So I talk about batching in parentheses there and scheduling. Batching is something that I'm not really very good at. I do see the value of it. Batching is when you're creating a lot of content up front, maybe for the week or even for the month, so that you're not always worrying about it. It's not the way I create my YouTube content, but it is the way I create other content like blog posts, Instagram posts, and social media posts. But for my YouTube channel, it isn't something that has worked for me, but I know that it works for a lot of other people. Scheduling is really important. So when you're batching your content, you can also schedule it. So you don't have to worry about thinking every day at 2 o'clock, oh no, I've got to post this or I've got to post that. So you can create, these systems that kind of work for you and allow you to make life a whole lot easier. And my last point there is to use social media to build a growing list of fans who want to learn from you. And that's really the point. That's really, if you're in business or you're wanting to create an offer or to do something bigger, then you want to have a growing list of people who are wanting to learn from you and who find value in what you create, who find value in the content that you offer. And those are the people that are going to want to continue to learn from you in whatever you have to offer. Let me just take a little sip of water here. Okay, so as I talked about before, marketing is something that I never learned about in school, certainly, and as a brick and mortar teacher, I didn't learn about marketing myself. I just got a job. Same with VIP Kid. I didn't really have to do a lot of marketing. I know that there are marketing things that you can do on online platforms to help your profile and to help parents to find you and to help students as well to want to continue to take your classes. We do need to keep that in mind. But marketing yourself in a bigger way is challenging, and sometimes it's hard to know where to start. What social media platform do I use? What do I say? How do I put myself out there? I'm just a teacher, and believe me, trust me, I've struggled with this, and I've learned ways to do it, and it has been successful for me. So it is important to use social media to market yourself for your business, for whatever you're offering. It's important to put yourself out there. And again, going back to mindset, sometimes we need to really kind of move past, those fears that we have about putting ourselves out online, because if you let those fears overtake, what you're capable of, then you're never going to move forward. You're never going to put yourself out there. And so I really focus on organic traffic versus paid traffic. Organic traffic being free. We like free, versus paid traffic, which is, when you're paying for things like Facebook ads or things like that. Really important to consider both of those. But in the beginning, I always tell people to start with organic traffic, to start with creating content that will attract people without having to pay for it, using social media, using your website, all those kinds of things. There's lots of ways to do that. You do not need to have a massive audience to build a business. You do not have to have thousands of followers to sell something. You don't have to have, a massive following on any social media platform to be able to market yourself. Just start small. Start with simple things that you can do to put yourself out there. And believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I've been able to do it multiple times on different platforms. It works. You can, start with a very small audience and start to build your following. And I always say choose progress over perfection, because guess what? You're never going to be perfect. And if you think you're going to be perfect, then you're never going to start, because what you put out there is not going to be perfect. And so I always, stress just getting yourself out there in whatever way you can and focus on progress over perfection. Okay, and then number 8 is sorry, cat's running across here, to set up systems to scale. So whether that's batching content in advance, as we talked about, scheduling social media posts, you want to create systems for your students or for your clients that are going to work for you, that's something, it's hard for us to manage everything. And so it's really important in our business that we create systems for who we're wanting to serve. So whether it's calendar bookings, autoresponders, all those kinds of things, we need to be thinking about putting systems in place so that frees us up to be able to scale other parts of our business. There's no way that we can do it all by ourselves and all alone on our own. We have to set up systems that allow us to be able to automate things so that we can scale our business and grow. Otherwise, you're going to always be manually responding to certain emails or spending a long time trying to schedule something. Systems are really important. And finally, one thing I'm learning to do is to outsource tasks that are not in my zone of genius. So things that I'm not good at. I am not great at writing. And so I'm trying to, outsource that so that I'm not having to write everything, even though it's so hard for me not to, because it's hard to allow someone else to create content for you. But sometimes you do need to outsource things. I love video editing, but it takes up so much of my time. So that's another thing that I'm wanting to outsource, because, it could really free up hours of my day. I probably spend 3 to 4 hours editing a video from start to finish for all the things that I do to optimize the video, to share the video on social media, to edit it, to cut it up and put it together. It takes a long, long time. So it is important to think about setting up systems to scale. So I wanted to go back to my first page, which highlighted that you might be someone who's tired of not making the amount of money you're capable of. Maybe you're unsure of how to get your idea out into the world. Maybe you're needing a little bit of guidance to start building your teaching business. And so I wanted to let you know that I am launching my brand new coaching program. I want to invite you to become a founding member of it. It is something that I took about 9 teachers through 2 months ago and have been refining it and working on it. And basically what I went through today, those 8 steps, is what is in my program. And so it is an 8-week coaching program designed to take you step by step through my process. So exactly what we just talked about, we go through each of those week by week, and we break them down. And in my coaching program, you have full support from start to finish to getting whatever offer you want off the ground and into the world. So I'm so excited about this. Launch is the name of it. It is also accountability and support. So with a Facebook group, with additional mentoring, I've hired someone to come and help with a weekly work group to help those that are in the program to work on their weekly tasks, their actionable weekly tasks. And it is a program ultimately to help you get results. I am 100% focused and invested in you getting the results that you want for whatever it is that you are wanting to launch. So I just wanted to share that. If you are interested, you can pop over to my website, onlineteacherdude.com/launch. It is starting on May the 31st. So I'm going to be sort of promoting it a little bit this month. You have a few weeks to consider it. There is a form on the page if you have questions or you're interested in learning a little bit more. That page will answer some of those questions and help you know if this is something that you want to do. But the content that I'm creating is really all about in my weekly lives and in my videos is about how to launch your teaching business and various aspects of this. So, I hope you got value from the little slide share I shared. I wanted to show you what was inside my program, but also add some value and give you some ideas for implementing these if you are wanting to create something and launch something into the world. So I haven't checked the chat box. If there's any comments or questions, feel free to pop them in. And you can always email me. The email address is in the description of this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I would love to chat with you. As I said, next week I'm going to be in transit to Thailand. And so I'm probably not going to have a live next week. But I wish you all well. Hope you have a great day and a great week ahead. And thanks for joining the live. Thank you for being here. And as always, happy teaching and have a fantastic week. See you later, everyone.